Hello YouTube, here I am with another bow stave that I shaped out for someone else, and I've got 6 and 7 inches marked out on each side. I'm going to be heating up the ends, curving them forward, very much like the pseudo-magyar bow that I made for Eli last month. But then I'm also going to slightly introduce a little bit of reflex below them, and then some deflex mid-limb. It should look like a very elegant bow. Ultimately, I'm going to paint it up with or decorate it with a wood grain finish, and finally do a very, very quick leaf pattern on it too. I think it'll look lovely. So let's get started. I figure you don't need to see the actual flattening with the bow stave since, gee, that's only been done about 1,010,000 times. You've probably also seen this procedure done about 1,010,000 times, but hey, this is what we got. So again, I don't heat the corners. I heat the flat sides. Try and keep it moving. Heat the sides. If you heat the edges, they tend to burn in my experience. So it's just overall way, way better to avoid doing that if you can. Not the end of the world if it splits, especially in the last inch or so. Depending on the type of bow you're making, you may cut that material away, so it may not matter at all. Nevertheless, I prefer to avoid it. It's a sign that you're overheating the pipe. And if you're overheating it there, to the point where it's splitting, you may be overheating it to the point where you're weakening substantially other areas. So it's still probably a better idea to avoid doing it if you can. Now, already at this stage, it hasn't puffed up substantially, but if I wanted to, I could begin to shape it. And it'll retain its nice flat profile. In this case, I want nice long ears, psias. Okay, let me go just finish this last inch off, and then I'll go get the flattening jig and the clamp, just to the right of the camera. So here we go. Flattening jig and clamp in hand. You have to know which side is going to be the front, which side is going to be the back already, because this is the moment of truth. Not going to have a lot of opportunity to change this unless you want to thoroughly reheat the bow after you've already done this part. You can, but again, it weakens it. I'd prefer to avoid that if possible. Let's go ahead and clamp, 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 clamp. I may end up shaping this a little bit more later as well. Okay, so I've talked about this procedure before. What I'm doing now is I'm holding it from the far side, so now I can tweak it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, make sure it's aligned properly and straight. You do all this, take that little bit of extra time and effort, and I promise you, it's going to look so much nicer and be so much easier later down the road if everything is aligned. I know it can slow things down substantially waiting for all this stuff, and it may seem unnecessary. To be honest, it probably is. I've seen very, very kinked up, out of alignment bows work just fine. However, just as a personal point of pride, it's nice to make bows that are well aligned. They probably do function a little bit more evenly and a little bit more efficiently, even though I don't think it's a huge, substantial effect. Again, point of pride. So, just look straight down it, make sure it's straight. And when we're done, you can even, if you feel like, you could even blow in the one side to force air down through it. Something that I haven't tried yet that I may in the future, because it may be a horrible idea, is using compressed air, like you get to blow the dust out of your keyboards, because we all do that, right? But you can go ahead and get that stuff, and, well, air as it expands, gas laws, right, it will cool. So that's cold air that you're blowing. We've used that to freeze chocolate in pastry school. when you need to, you can apply a dab of chocolate, blast it with some air, and it will solidify very rapidly. You can do the same thing here. It may be a bad idea. I don't know that it is, though. So I think it's probably something worth trying. Something for the future. A project for another day, right? Okay, great. I think we're ready to take this off. Looks good. So again, it looks like a banana. I mean, that's the shape and size of it. If you did that, and it looks rather like a banana, you know you did the job right. As you force it in, remember, you're going to be pulling it forward. That'll naturally add a little bit of curve to it. So that's good. We are going to trim the back just a little bit to try and thin it out and make it look a little bit more elegant. This whole process adds about, versus recurving it, it really doesn't add very much time at all. If I recurve it over a rounded object, that can add, I don't know, 5 minutes per side, maybe, between heating, shaping, cooling. This adds approximately the same, and I think the results are much nicer. You can do both, and some people, what they'll do is they'll use different, even the 3/4 or 1/2 inch PVC, and they'll insert it in, and you can do that too to make removable sillas. I like this better because it's all one piece. It's a little bit lighter. You don't get overlap. There's no seam. I find it attractive, and yeah, it's decent. The results are very, very respectable. So let's go ahead and keep the other side. I know I made a post on the Google Plus forum saying that thanks to you guys, everybody who watches these videos, due to Google AdSense, I'm now able to buy a chronograph. So basically, you guys watch videos and ads and stuff like that, I get goodies, and I make better videos for you guys. That's the point. That's the plan. So I expect to be picking up a Chrony F1 shortly. I've heard it's very good, and a lot of other people use it. I'm just dying to see what some of my bows, especially the Home Guard bow, does, how it can perform. I'm not expecting miracles from PVC, but wouldn't it be nice? My goal, if nobody else, or if you don't remember, was 200 feet per second, and I believe I got, if not right there, within spitting distance. So in the near future, we'll find out exactly how good that was and how close my method of estimating via Audacity, using the sound program, the sound editing program Audacity was. Okay. Ready for side number 2. Now remember again, you can tweak the level of reflex later. You can go ahead and tweak the level of reflex by heating near the base. You can also correct the twists and things like that if it's off center. You can do an awful lot of cool stuff. Yeah, go inside. It's okay.
Okay. What could I talk for you today?
I don't have time to talk. I'm sorry, Jack. There we go. Before it completely hardens, let's try and get this all set. There we go. Very nice. Now looking down it, making sure it's not twisted, making sure it's straight, and attempting to approximately get the same level of reflex in each limb. I think we're doing a really good job of that. If not, like I said, it's very easy just to fix and tweak later on. So I'm staring down, and actually I'm staring at the far limb and using the ghost images that I see from each eye just to center it, rather than looking down with one eye. You can do that too. But this provides I call it ghost images because it reminds me of the ghost ring, a type of firearm sight. You're not actually looking at the rear sight, but you see the rear sight. So that's very similar to what I'm doing here. I'm just using one limb to help align it with the other. I didn't even need to correct this one for straightness. This is looking good. And if all the bows that I made turned out this simple and straightforward to make, I would be exceedingly happy. I have 3 bows now. As soon as I finish shaping the sias here, I'm going to go ahead and start sanding them down all together. Try and get all that done all at the same time and using the scraping method. So I just take the back of a knife. You could use anything reasonably sharp, but not a blade. The back of a blade. You want something approximately a 90-degree angle. It won't bite into the material too much. You want it to skate over the surface and shave the markings off. In this case, all the markings are on the edge. It's probably smart, if you really want to be clever, do it before you shape the pipe, because once it's flat, it's very hard to get that off. In that case, I have to use sandpaper or steel wool, and there's nothing against that. It works just fine. But I vastly, vastly prefer just scraping it off and you're done in seconds. If you haven't watched that video, do check it out. It's well worth it. Very well worth it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this off. And again, close the door, please. And again, it looks like a banana. Now, I will mark and cut the sias. I'll show you that as soon as I'm done. And thanks for watching. Alright, so here's the wood elf bow with its shaped sias. Left them a little fat at the back and then narrower towards the tips. All I wanted to do now was gently heat it and recurve it a little bit more at the base and then deflex it mid-limb. We'll see how that goes. So right now, let me get the ruler so we can mark out a point for the deflex, because I know where I'm going to reflex it. I'll tell you what, how about I do it the other way around? I'll deflex it, then reflex it, and we'll see how we like it. So from a point 2.5 inches from the center, rather, I'm sorry, from 3 inches from the center, let's mark 3 inches, 4, and 5. And let's just add 6 in there for good measure. So 6 inches from true center. From true center, 6 to 9 inches. But measuring from 3 inches the handle, 3 inches on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now this is what I did earlier and it worked out really well. Let's try it again. I'm going to try deflexing it by hand. So I'm heating mostly the front. Heat the front once, twice, hit the side, hit the back, hit the side, front, side, back, front, side, back, side. So see, I'm trying to heat mostly the front side because it's what's going to need to stretch. The back side will compress, but we don't need to heat it quite as much. You don't want it to deform at all. So in this case, it's hot and I can just begin to deform it with stress, but with this, it'll actually start to tear or damage the PVC. So just another sink in on all sides. Okay, now, there you go, it's starting to go, perfect. And I tend to hit the sides more than the back, because that'll also get the front and back at the same time. But principally we want to get the front. Heating it little by little, and there you go. Check that out. How's that for nice? The pipe isn't puffing, but the pipe can be deformed right there. So that will be just about all the deflex I need. It's looking good. That brings it to 1 inch of deflex overall from the handle. And the other benefit of doing it this way is it's easier to keep the limbs aligned. They don't go out of straightness quite as easily as if you heat it more. Number 2, it cools off way faster. I may go and just test this bow with the deflex without any reflex just to see how stressed it is, because I don't want this to be a heavy bow. That's not the point. Let's go ahead and do the other limb, and then I'll show you the end product.